Hey guys, today we're going to work on finding a specific percent of a number. This is one of those skills that's actually extremely useful in life. Anytime I go out to eat at a restaurant and I need to figure out the tax, the tip, or if I'm going to take a discount, I always have to figure out what percent of my total bill I should be adding or I should be taking off. Let me show you what I mean. If I want to figure out what 40% of 100 is, there's a really easy way to do this. 40% of 100. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my percent and I'm going to turn it into a decimal. The way you do that is by grabbing the decimal that's already in 40, which is right here, and moving it 2 steps to the left. 1, 2, dropping it off. This represents that 40% means 40 out of 100, which is represented as 4/10 or 40 hundredths. So 40% is the same as 0.40 or 40 hundredths. This 0 is actually meaningless. It doesn't have a place value. It doesn't give that any value. So I'm going to just write this as 0.4. And so now I'm saying, what is 0.4 of 100? And the way I find that out, what is 4/10 of 100, is I'm going to multiply 100 times 0.4. Remember that when you multiply with decimals, you ignore your decimal until the very last step. Just put the longer number on top, this one has 3 digits so it's longer, and the shorter number on bottom, and line them up on the right. Ignore the decimal. Now I'm going to multiply out. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4, and my last step is to bring my decimal back in. I can see in this problem there's 1 digit to the right of the decimal, so in my answer 1 digit needs to be to the right of the decimal, 40.0, which is the same thing as 40. So what that means, back to the original problem, 40% of 100 is 40. Let's do another one. Let's do kind of a crazy one. What is 12% of 15? Well, we do it the same way. The first thing I want to do is I want to turn my percent into a decimal. So I grab the invisible decimal in 12, which is at the back, and I move it 2 steps to the left and drop it off. So that means 12% is equal to 0.12. Now I can take 0.12 and multiply it by 15 to figure out what 12% of 15 is. Both of these numbers have 2 digits, so it doesn't matter which one goes up on top, but remember, I don't worry about the decimals, I just line them up over on the right. Now I can multiply. 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. I'm going to move over, and when I move to the left in place value, I need to write a 0 as a placeholder. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. Add them up. I'm not quite done because the last step is going to be to bring in my decimal. I see there are 2 digits to the right of a decimal in my problem, which means there need to be 2 digits to the right of my decimal in my answer. What this means, 1.80, is that 12% of 15 is 1.8, or 1.80. This 0, again, doesn't actually matter because the value of this is like $1.80 or 1 whole and 80 hundredths. That's the same as this, $1.80. There's just an invisible 0 there that we can drop because it doesn't have a value. Cool. Your turn to practice.